When writing numbers in terms of Roman numerals, we want to expand this digit by digit. So we can write this first number, 1,637, as 1,000 and 600 and 30 and 7. Each digit will get its own expansion using one or more of the Roman numerals. 1,000 we have a symbol for, that's M. 600 we don't have a symbol for, but we could add 500 plus 100 together to give us the 600. It's important that when you want to add the symbols together, you write the larger symbol first. So D must come before C if you're adding these together. So this is DC. 30, we can write that in terms of tens. We know that that's just 3 tens, so we can write 3 x's. Each x represents a 10. This gives us the 30. 7, we can write in terms of 5s and 1s. We know that 7 is 5 plus 2, so we have a single 5 and then 2 i's, 2 1s. Now it's important again on this last part that we wrote the larger symbol first. The V had to come before the i's to add these together. So now we can string all these letters together, and this gives us M, D, C, X, 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 V, I. One important rule to remember on these is that you cannot use the same letter more than 3 times in a row. That will matter on this next problem. So here we have 149, which we can think of as 100 plus 40 plus 9. 100 we have a symbol for, that's C. 40, you may be tempted to say that that's 4 x's, x, 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 x. But we can't use more than 3 symbols of the same type. So we can think of this is the same thing as 50 subtract 10. When you think of this as a subtraction, this is when the smaller symbol comes first. So this is 10 being subtracted from 50. So x being subtracted from L. So we will write this as x being subtracted from L. The smaller symbol comes first to indicate a subtraction. The 9 works the same way. We can think of this as 10 subtract 1, or 1 subtracted from 10. So IX will represent 9. Now we can string these letters together. So we've got C, X, L, I, X. That gives us the number 149. Now converting from Roman numerals into Arabic numbers, we have the same idea. If the symbols are in order from largest to smallest, we know we just add them together. If any of them are out of order, we know that there's going to be a subtraction. So here we have M first. M we know is 1,000. Next up comes D. D is next in our list. That's 500. So we're going to add to that 500. After the D, we have an X and an L. Well, the X and the L are in the wrong order. See, X is smaller than L is. So I know that this means we're going to have a subtraction. We're going to have the L symbol subtract the X symbol. So this will be 50 subtract 10. And then finally, the last 2 digits, we have I and V. Those are in the wrong order. Those are in increasing order. I is smaller than V, so that says this is also a subtraction. So the symbol for V is 5, and then we're subtracting from that 1. And then we can add these together. This gives us 1,544. On this last problem, I want to point out a technicality on here. We can't group symbols together in the wrong order that are too far apart. C is the only symbol that can come directly before M or D in a subtraction. So if we have IM, this doesn't make any sense. This is not a true representation in Roman numerals. We can only subtract C from D or M. We can't subtract I from M. Likewise, we can only subtract X from either L or C. And we can only subtract I from V or X. So you may be inclined to write this as 1,000 subtract 1, but this is not allowed. We can't have I right before M. So if we wanted to write this number, 1,000 minus 1, this is 999. If we wanted to write this out correctly in Roman numerals, we would think of this as 900 plus 90 plus 9. Well, 900, that's almost 1,000. It's 100 short. So this is the same thing as 1,000 minus 100. And the symbol for 1,000 is M. The symbol for 100 is C. But because we have a subtraction, we're going to write these in reverse order. We write the smaller symbol first. 90 is the same thing as 100. Subtract 10. So 100 is C. Since we're subtracting 10 from that, we'll put the X before the C. And then 9 is the same thing as 10 subtract 1. So we have an X. And since we're subtracting 1, the 1 will come before it. So the actual correct representation to write 999 would be CMXC1X.